Have you ever noticed something strange? When you start improving your life, not everyone around you becomes happy. Some people who used to support you suddenly become quiet. Some friends stop asking about your progress. Some people make jokes about your dreams. And sometimes, the people closest to you are the ones who secretly feel uncomfortable when you move forward. But why? Why would someone who claims to care about you secretly hope you don't succeed? The answer is hidden deep inside human psychology. Because sometimes your success doesn't only change your life, it changes how other people see themselves. Imagine this. Two friends grow up together. They have the same dreams, the same struggles, and the same opportunities. One day, one of them decides to change. He starts learning new skills, working harder, and building a better future. At first, everyone is excited. That's amazing. Keep going. But after some time, something changes. The same people who encouraged him begin saying things like, "Are you sure this will work? Don't waste so much time. You think you can really do that?" At first, these words seem like concern, but sometimes they are not about protecting you. Sometimes they are about protecting their own comfort, because your growth becomes a mirror. And when people look at your progress, they are forced to look at their own choices. Your discipline reminds them of their lack of discipline. Your courage reminds them of their fears. Your progress reminds them of the dreams they abandoned. And that can create a very uncomfortable feeling inside them. Psychologists call this a form of social comparison. Human beings naturally compare themselves with others. We don't just ask, "Am I successful?" We often ask, "Am I doing better or worse than the people around me?" And when someone close to us starts achieving something we secretly wanted, it can create feelings that are difficult to accept. A person may not think, "I don't want my friend to succeed." Instead, their mind creates a different story. They are becoming different. They think they are better than us. They are leaving us behind. The strange part is, they may not even realize they are feeling this way. Human psychology has a powerful ability to protect our ego. Instead of accepting, "Maybe I need to improve myself," the brain sometimes chooses an easier explanation. The other person is just lucky. They changed. They are not the same anymore. Because accepting someone else's success can sometimes force us to accept our own excuses. Think about a person who always says, "One day I will start exercising. One day I will start my business. One day I will learn something new." Then they see someone else actually doing it. That person's success becomes proof that change is possible. And that proof can feel painful, because now the excuse becomes weaker. This is why some people don't attack your dreams directly. They attack your confidence. They may not say, "Don't succeed." Instead, they say, "Be realistic. Don't take risks. Why do you think you are special?" And sometimes these sentences sound wise, but you have to look deeper. Are they giving you honest advice, or are they trying to keep you at the same level as them? There is a difference between someone who protects you and someone who limits you. A person who truly cares about you may warn you about challenges, but they will still want to see you grow. A person who secretly fears your success will focus only on why you cannot do it. They will remind you of every possible failure, but never mention your potential. Now, here is something interesting. Not every person who doubts you is jealous. Sometimes people discourage you because they are afraid for you. They have seen failure. They have experienced pain. They don't want you to suffer. But there is one important difference. A caring person says, "Be careful, but I believe you can do it." A negative person says, "Don't even try." The words may sound similar, but the energy behind them is completely different. So how do you recognize someone who secretly doesn't want you to succeed? There are a few signs. The first sign is they celebrate your failures more than your victories. When something goes wrong, they suddenly become very interested. They ask many questions. They want every detail. But when something good happens, their reaction feels empty. Maybe they quickly change the topic. Maybe they find a reason why your success is not a big deal. The second sign is they constantly compare your journey with others. They say things like, "Look at him, he is already ahead of you," or "Someone else is doing better." Instead of motivating you, they make you feel smaller. The third sign is they only support the old version of you. They liked you when you had the same habits, the same problems, and the same limitations. But when you start changing, they feel like they are losing control because your growth changes the relationship. And some people don't miss you. They miss the version of you that was easier for them to understand. But here is the most important lesson. You should never spend your entire life trying to prove people wrong, because that gives them control over your journey. The goal is not to make jealous people jealous. The goal is to become the person you always wanted to become. A tree does not stop growing because some people dislike its height. It simply keeps reaching toward the sunlight. Your responsibility is not to convince everyone, because some people will only understand your journey after they see the result. Before success, people see your dream. After success, they see your achievement. And many people respect the outcome more than the struggle behind it. So, what should you do when someone secretly doesn't want you to succeed? First, stop sharing every dream with everyone. Not everyone deserves access to your plans. Some people need to see your results, not your unfinished ideas. Second, pay attention to actions more than words. Anyone can say they support you, but their behavior will always reveal the truth. Third, don't let someone else's fear become your limitation. Their doubts are often a reflection of their own beliefs, not your abilities. Remember this, a person who is comfortable with their own life does not need to destroy someone else's confidence. People who are truly happy for themselves can celebrate the success of others. So when you start growing and someone changes toward you, don't immediately hate them. Understand the psychology behind it. Sometimes people are not fighting against your success. They are fighting against what your success makes them feel about themselves. And the most powerful thing you can do is keep becoming better without becoming bitter. Because one day, the same people who question your journey may ask you how you did it. But by then, you won't be looking for their approval anymore, because you will finally understand something important. The biggest victory is not proving that they were wrong. The biggest victory is becoming someone who no longer needs their permission to shine.